8 Psychology tips to make him fall in love with you. 1. Don't underestimate the power of a good impression. Sometimes, it all boils down to when you first meet each other. Don't think for 1 second that the first impression doesn't matter. A person has the power to automatically settle on whether or not you're likable the very moment that you meet. 2. Don't make yourself overly available. Don't come off as someone who is too desperate or overly eager. Make sure that your romantic interest understands that you still have a life outside of this possible relationship that you may have. You don't want to be known as that person who can't seem to function properly without being in a relationship. 3. Don't be afraid to make eye contact. Eye contact is absolutely important, especially when you want to make someone fall in love with you. When you make eye contact with that person without being weird about it, you are essentially making yourself available and vulnerable at the same time. 4. Make sure that you don't have wandering eyes when you're with your partner. If you're out on a date together, stay entirely focused on him. No one wants to be out on a date with a person whose eyes seem to be wandering to other people's faces, phone screens, or reading materials. Give him your undivided attention and the respect that he deserves. 5. Allow that person to offer you some nice gestures or gifts. It's common knowledge that a lot of men like to feel needed and important. If he wants to perform a nice gesture for you, just let him. It will help boost his ego and he'll be happy to know that you are accepting and appreciative of his kindness. 6. Go out on dates in dimly lit settings. Psychology tells us that dimly lit venues make for more intimate and affectionate settings. Set the mood right by going out on a nice romantic date with him in a restaurant with low and subtle lighting. This dulls the visual senses, but it ends up heightening everything else. 7. Let your passion pour forth. There is nothing more attractive than a person who is genuinely passionate about something. It would be good for him to know that you are really passionate about your job, career, or a certain hobby. If you can be that passionate about something, then it also means you could also be that passionate about him. 8. Talk about how you're trying to become a better person. By instinct, we tend to hide our flaws from the people we like the most. We want to impress them the best way that we can, and so we try to give off an image of perfection. However, it would be much wiser for you to really acknowledge your faults and your intents on changing your ways. Remember that people always like a nice struggle and success story.